Ladies and gentlemen, Ebro in the morning. We about to drop some gems. We're gonna try to kick some knowledge.
Yep.
Laura Styles Rosenberg present, and Bun B in the building.
No. The professor is here.
So we can't call him Bun.
Not when we're talking about his education, him schooling these children. He's the professor. You call him Prof if you want to. How's that?
Professor Anthony
I'll take
Pinn
that.
Also. Professor Anthony Pinn is here.
Well, I was gonna do Anthony Pinn first, but we got tripped up on introducing Bun B.
That's okay. I understand. I'm off-putting to people sometimes. I get that.
You're the nicest person. You're not off-putting.
I mean, you know.
He's Prof.
The professor's off-putting sometimes.
Exactly. The professor's intimidating. Exactly.
Professor Anthony Pinn, how are you, sir?
Doing well. Good to be with you.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you for coming.
I'm definitely going to give that brother a round of applause.
There you go.
All right, so let's establish something. On campus, Bun B is not called Bun B.
Right.
Which campus is this?
This is Rice University in Houston, Texas.
Okay. And so when people see you
on campus,
right, it's very much an academic situation. This is not about rap.
Absolutely.
You're not the artist known as Bun B.
I've literally, over the 4 years that I've been associated with the university, I've turned down over 6 figures worth of performances from the university because I want to maintain the integrity of the class and my standing on the university. So like I won't rap at the school. Like they've asked me to do their Spring Fest every year since I started teaching, and I turn it down every year because I don't want to compromise the integrity of the course.
What is it about this course? And now we're going to talk about a course that's free, it's unlimited, it's offered by the professor and the professor,
yes,
which deals with religion and hip hop.
Religion and hip hop culture.
Culture.
Yes.
And that is the same course that you teach?
Yes, that's the name. That's the title of the course that Dr. Pinn and I teach on campus at Rice University. And now, because so many people, ask questions about the course, and so many people wanted to take the course on campus, and people wanted to come in from other universities and try to audit the course, right? But there's only so much room in a college classroom to put people in. So we had to kind of stop everything at like 200 because that's really the biggest room that they can make available for us to teach. If we had a room that held 400 people, we'd probably have 400 students on campus. But since we can't facilitate the number of people that would like to take the course, we found a way to make it available to people who couldn't attend Rice University, made it available for them, and make it free for them.
And so for people tuning in right now, we're not going to be talking about hip hop in regards to Bun B being a rapper because he wants to save that for a different.
Well, I mean,
gathering.
yeah, I mean, we can always have that conversation, right? Because that's always been a part of me. But this is something different,
And I know your passion for hip hop, but can you articulate the passion for the course and education? Because that's obviously not a side. I mean, I've seen it, but for the people viewing right now, may not understand where your passion and seriousness come.
Well, like 4 years ago, Doc called me in to actually come and be a guest at the course. Doc's been teaching this course around the country, and for over 20 years now, different variations. So when he made it to Rice University and taught it at Rice, they were kind enough to ask me to come in and speak at the class, and talking to Doc on the phone, chilling with him before the class. I'm like, yo, I get this dude, I get what he's doing, right? Because I don't really have any frame of reference as far as the academy and universities. I didn't go to college, okay? So I don't know how college is taught. I don't know how it's received as a student. I don't really have any bearings on the world. So when Doc called me in and to do the course, I was fascinated by the structure in the classroom. I'm like, this is kind of ill. So then Doc actually was kind enough to ask me if I would be willing to actually share the classroom with him and co-teach the course. Now, this ain't my world. I don't come from this world, so I had to really give this some serious consideration.
Wait, you're not from academia?
No.
I always thought UGK was both from the streets of Port Arthur and also from academia.
No. We're School of Hard Knocks.
Okay, yeah. That's different, though.
And maybe people watching this thought academia was a place in Texas.
Right.
Thought he was from Port Arthur.
Well, academia sounds like it'd be in Louisiana.
That's right. That's where Kevin Gates is from, I think. From academia, Louisiana.
So that's where the seriousness of why you're separating the artist Bun B away from the class and you being a professor is because you fell in love with the structure.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
fell in love with the discipline. You fell in love with the getting young minds focused on an idea.
That was the one thing that really shaped me during the course of teaching this thing, of being in a position to directly speak into the hearts and minds of young America, right? Because this university carries it's a private university, and it's not the easiest university to get into, and it's not cheap. So everybody in my classroom is making a serious effort to be informed. right? So that's different from a high school teacher or, middle and elementary school, right? These guys decide they don't have to go to college if they don't want to. They made a conscious decision to go to college and further their education, right? So that being said, I have to respect that intention and I have to be mindful of it when I come into the classroom every day.
So, Professor Pinn, why Bun B when you initially reached out to him for this? Why him?
Well, I've been teaching a version of this course off and on for about 20 years, but I've been a hip-hop fan longer than that, and UGK has influenced me. I'm a huge fan.
You had a pocket full of stones at some point.
We'll keep that quiet.
Okay, no problem.
But once I got to Houston, I wanted to meet Bun B. I'm a huge fan, so I had one of my students reach out to set up this conversation. It seemed criminal to me to be in Houston, teach a course on religion and hip-hop, and not have these major players come to the classroom, and I couldn't think of anybody better than Bun B.
And I'm sure you knew that it would also be a better way to hold the attention of the young mind to have someone that they listen to their music and knows.
That's a misconception. See, the misconception is that everybody in my classroom is a fan of hip hop and has grown up in hip hop. That's not true.
Got it.
Like, I'm not in an HBSBC or anything like that. Rice University is a private university, and the majority of students and the majority
There's a lot of hip hop. I mean, even if you don't consider yourself a fan of hip hop, you've been affected by hip hop.
But keep in mind, this is not a music course, right? This is a humanities. This is from the religious studies department, right? And this doesn't count towards your major if you take this, right? It's an elective.
It's an elective. Got it. So anyone who's doing this really wants to just learn and learn about religion also.
And the bottom line
the majority
is
of people are learning about religion, and some people want a deeper understanding of hip hop culture, because for most of them, it's really surface.
Did you ever consider getting Willie D to teach this course?
No, but I've been trying to convince Willie D to do a podcast for about 2 years now.
He won't do it because he's just not ready? Or?
I don't know. I think Willie D would be because Willie's done radio in Houston before. Yeah. He's an amazing personality, right? Very engaging. Now, I'm telling him, like, yo, you should do a podcast. I think a lot of people
Let me get a hold of Willie D. I'm going to talk to Willie D.
Okay.
I don't know Willie D, but I feel like I could give him a convincing speech. Sometimes you get that Jewish phone call. It changes the way you look at this.
Really? The Jew card? You going to throw the Jew
Someone
card
named Rosenberg.
I'm going to tell you what Willie D don't give a fuck about. You being Jewish. I guarantee you that one.
I don't know.
That might be a safe bet.
By the way, the name D is David. It's Willie David Abraham Josowitz. He is Jewish.
So hip-hop and religion. Religion and hip-hop. Obviously, it's been in the music, and religion is a part of our culture as black and brown people coming up, whatever you come, whether it's Islam, whether it's Christian.
Most black and brown people are raised in some form of religious institution.
Right. So, and it's been a part of the music. It's been a part of our music forever. Right. All facets of our American music. And hip-hop is the cross-section of most American music.
Yeah. Ebro gets it.
Right?
Yeah.
So, why is this course so important to you, Dr. Pinn or Professor Pinn, and what are you guys trying to convey in this course that you want people to walk away?
Yeah, what is the theme of it? Because when I hear it, it doesn't make sense to me necessarily, because I don't think of hip hop and religion together at all.
It's because most people think hip hop, they think rap music, and when they think religion, they think church.
And see, I'm the other way. I think hip-hop, and what I was raised in hip-hop was hip-hop is in itself a culture and a religion. It's something you do religiously.
He gets it.
I mean, these two things have shaped human history, period.
Right.
But we don't really wrestle with them in a sustained way, that folks are religious and they think, well, I don't need to talk about that because I just am. Or they appreciate hip-hop culture, and for them, this is just what I am. I don't have to analyze it. But we're in the business of creating citizens who can make a difference in the world, and we'd be doing them a disservice if we don't give them a way to wrestle with the world that they live in, right? To deal with the issues using a vocabulary and a grammar that makes sense to them.
So let's take it a step further, and I guess I'll pose this question. Religion in America and kind of the vice grip that it has on some cultures and their inability sometimes to move forward. We could speak specifically about black people. People theorize often that some of the obstacles that black people have in coming together and moving forward is because we practice our oppressor's religion. And we're kind of conditioned to believe certain things or images of certain things because of how we were programmed as slaves. Do you guys get into that conversation in this course?
We talk a bit about that, but it's complex, right? As soon as you talk about slaves being obedient because of Christianity, you also have to talk about a Nat Turner or Denmark Vesey or Gabriel Prosser.
And that's not necessarily hip-hop.
Who were Baptist ministers,
Okay.
right? But were all about revolution. Their attitude was, we need to be free, and if white folks have to die, so be it. Right, so for us, the bottom line is complexity, that it's more than meets the eye, and so we want the students to dig deep.
Okay.
Sorry, but
No, go ahead, no, go ahead.
what's the overarching theme, though? I know you can't sum it all up, but if you were to try to give us there's whatever, how many, is it once a week?
Well, it's a 6-week course.
6-week course. So you have 6 sessions.
Yes.
Over
Right.
the course of that, what is like the, what's it called? Oh, the syllabus. What's the general description of what the syllabus would be?
Prof?
Well, the first thing we do in the context of the course is define religion in the context of the course and define hip-hop culture within the context of the course. After we do that, then we start to make the comparisons. We look at hip-hop and Christianity, what they have similarities, what their disparities are. Then we go to hip-hop and Islam, right? And that's an extensive conversation.
That's got to be extensive.
You know what I'm saying? Because obviously the 5% Nation and the Nation of Islam has had very deep influence on hip-hop, right? So, and then when we close the course out, what we do is look at hip-hop actually replacing religion for people in their lives.
Well, I can relate to that one, certainly. Do you spend any sessions on DC talk?
I mean, people like gospel MCs are
Of course. Ebro, you're a big DC talk fan. I'm being sarcastic. I am mocking DC talk. Yes,
I don't know why you would do
Because
that.
people used to give out their tapes at lunchtime in high school. But do you mention some of
But
it?
why are you mocking DC talk?
Because Christian rap. Look, guys, you want to be
Yeah, but you have Lecrae now, and you know I've been on my
Lecrae
Lecrae
is
thing.
not DC talk. Though.
I know, but my point is Christian rap got this kind of
but you got to understand, there probably
Stigma,
wouldn't
if
be
you
a
will.
Lecrae without a DC talk.
You're probably right. You're probably right. But at the same time, the reason I am mocking it is,
What was the other one? 7 Foot Jesus, 9 Foot Jesus, something like that.
I don't know. I don't
There was
remember.
another Christian
DC
rapper
talk's the
on
only one that comes in my mind of like is Christian.
you guys
rap.
deal with Blood Abraham.
No, we haven't really
No,
gotten
not in
into
this class.
we haven't gotten into
Do you remember the name of their
class yet.
single?
No, you do though.
Of course I do.
What was it?
It was pretty good. Oh, I can't say the first word. It was N-words and Jews.
Oh,
You remember
niggas
that?
and Jews,
And
yeah.
it was Eazy-E was on it, and the chorus was like, "It was the Jews."
Yeah,
It was the
yeah.
Jews. It was actually not bad.
Pretty
To be honest with you. But so do you hit any of the?
Yeah, we definitely talk about hip hop, as a place where artists live now. It's gospel artists and whatnot live now. So the Lecraes, people like that. We have a very big movement for Christian hip hop in Houston. So we have a lot of guys locally. For example, 007 is one of the members of the Fifth War Boys. So of course he's basically part of the foundation of Rap A Lot Records and Houston hip hop, and he ended up going to prison for many years, converted. Changed his life, came back home, and now he raps for God. So we talk about these kind of transformations. We actually had him the first year we taught come in the course and talk about that transformation in his life.
Christian rap. I guess I'm a snob in some sort of ways. I don't like the term. I like good rap, and then there's bad rap. There's things you like, things you don't like. Whether you're, because
But
Bible,
once we start labeling things,
I don't.
then it
I just
gets
feel
out of
like
hand,
either it's good or it's not. Whether you're
Right.
rapping about
Yeah.
God, because look, God and the God philosophies and all types of different things have been a part of hip hop since the beginning because it's a part of who we are. That
Right.
you know what I mean. So once you go, oh no, this is Christian, I feel like people start to judge it through a filter that's not just about is it good music. Are your story and your lyrics good? Is your music?
And
Is
I-
it
true to the
I think,
gospel.
and I think those people have had a hard time trying to identify themselves.
Yeah.
Both with inside hip hop and inside religion.
And then I
right?
also feel like this too. I also feel like when you say Christian hip hop, it almost makes it sound like there hasn't been hip hop that hasn't been spiritually uplifting until.
Right, because the other term they're using is holy hip hop too. I've heard that before, and gospel rap, right?
It's just hip hop, bro. Like
Lecrae said it when he was here before. He's like, I'm a rapper that happens to be Christian.
Right.
He said he didn't necessarily. He's like, yeah, I'm a Christian. He's like, it kind of like bothered him that they all.
And
refer to him as
it
a
bothered
Christian
me too
rapper.
when it was like, no, this is Latin hip hop. I was like, no,
Yeah.
fam, it's hip hop. It just happens to be in Spanish.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And there are people in hip hop who speak Spanish and English. Like, and I feel like when we fragment our culture, it makes it weak. Like, you know what I mean?
Because we're all doing the same thing, right?
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are and what language you're doing it. It's really about the flavor and the flow and the way you put words together.
Can I argue a flip side to this coin, though?
Of course.
You should.
The fact of the matter is, Lecrae, first of all, two things. I like Lecrae a lot. However, part of the reason he's known for being what he is because he's proud of what he is, and it's part of his gimmick. It is part of what the shtick is. There's no question to me about that. That is who he is.
Wait. So I don't understand the
The
term.
word gimmick makes it sound
and
like
shtick.
Meaning it's who you are. Like, for example, me, right? I'm Mr. Underground Hip Hop. I'm this, I'm that. That's who I am.
Right.
But I purposefully put it out on the forefront because it's something easy to identify, even though it's who I am. I don't think when he's like, oh, why do you have to label me that? I think he also does know that it's something that separates him, makes him identifiable and interesting, to be honest.
Or the people who are passionate in that social
will
group
gravitate towards it.
I just
embraced
feel
him
like I just feel like
first.
when you say shtick, it kind of connotates that there's a
Yes.
joke that we're all in.
No.
on.
And that's not what I mean by shtick. I guess
Okay.
I think of it like in wrestling terms, like a gimmick, like what your thing is, your thing that can make you noticeable, and everyone should have something. Frankly, if you want to be recognized, that people can gravitate
What
towards.
is Ebro's shtick?
Ebro has several. He has being old, and he has everyone blame me because I'm the bad
being
guy.
old is my shtick.
I-
Right? So,
Damn, I thought you was going with the professor.
No,
I'm
Professor's
just
your
in this
shtick.
room. Yeah, man, I'm Uncle Professor
Wait,
Bun.
wait, time out.
So many labels.
Time out. We got to get on the same page, bro. Like, if you're going with that, then I'm going to move to something else.
Now, but
I'm gonna stay in my professor lane.
All right, cool. Then I'm going with Uncle Ebro.
You can have that,
old
right?
man,
Okay.
old man, Uncle will do all that. He'll go professor now.
I do call him Uncle Bun, though. He's one of only two rappers that I would refer to as uncle. Him and
And
Snoop.
Snoop.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're probably the oldest guys left.
Do you think that if Lecrae didn't embrace his religion, he wouldn't have been as successful?
I think his approach would be different, and then
Yeah.
that would kind of then and
It would
we're in a
dictate
different-
something else.
Right.
I always think of him and Macklemore in a similar lane for some reason, right? They came from like random places. We didn't really know of them. They built themselves up independently, and then they got successful
Right.
quickly. Macklemore's gimmick, he's
Yeah.
white.
That's his shtick.
That's his shtick. But guess what? He's really white. It's his real shtick. It's real life. Now, here's my question, though. Here's what thing I was going to call you guys out for, though. You guys are being like, oh, well, why are we calling it something different, blah, blah. At the same time, if someone uses religion regularly in their rap, me as a very not secular fan, I rarely want to hear that. And overly religious stuff does, unless it's incredibly good, it has to be so good. Otherwise, I have a tendency to feel a little bit, what you trying to acknowledge, bruh?
Well, I mean,
do have a little
look at Lecrae's single "Say I Won't." Right? There's nothing in that song sonically or lyrically that would suggest that
I agree.
comes from a Christian background. And I think he's learned that, at this stage now, I don't have to walk around and carry that on my shoulders, right? I could just be who I am and exist in my space, and people either get it or they don't.
Right, and your positivity has more of an effect when you're not being over telling people what it is all the time.
But I think other people probably bring it up more than he does.
I think that's probably true too. So what about, have you guys got into the fact that maybe there's any correlation between the religious foundation of the families of a lot of people who are in hip hop and hip hop's slow, how can I say this nicely?
Don't be PC, man.
Our slow adjustment to homosexuality and kind of the pervasiveness of homophobia in hip hop. Are there any potential religious ties that
Well, the
are
religious
part of
ties
that?
are strong. If you look at black churches, for example, they have been historically strong on issues of race, right? They've gotten that right. But
And
deeply
sexuality.
Well, sexuality they've gotten wrong.
Right,
though,
right. They've been
because
strong but wrong.
strong but
yeah.
wrong.
Right,
I mean,
right.
deeply, deeply, deeply homophobic. Unless you are the minister of music, then you're all right. Right, but you
Or the choir instructor, you good to prance around.
But
up
you
there,
you
good.
still have to be quiet about it, and you
Yeah.
have to be willing to eat a whole lot of crap in order to survive. And
So do you talk about
and gender?
that? There being
Yeah,
a tie?
gender they've
Yeah,
gotten wrong.
absolutely.
Yeah, so we acknowledge that tie.
Yeah, we talk about homophobia and
Yeah.
as it relates to hip hop and religion. One of the stronger themes that has been arising in the classroom is feminism's role in
Right.
hip hop and religion, and how the feminine voice has kind of been muted in both, so to speak.
Well, I mean, which is interesting because of the conversation when you start with the Bible or you in Islam, how the woman is portrayed a certain way. And maybe because of that, it's manifested itself. I mean, listen, I think hip hop is a reflection of society, right? And as you pointed out, hip hop has been slow to embrace the reality that there's people of same sex in love, right? And embracing artists that also embrace that lifestyle. We've been slow to that, and I think it's rooted in religion, it's rooted in culture and things like that. But so goes feminism, right?
Absolutely.
Which, you know, hip hop is not far removed from some of the ideals of society.
It reflects society.
It's what it is, and it's always been that way. What is as you guys close the course, and obviously you don't want to give the whole thing away, but what would someone walking into this expect to walk away from it with better understanding? Like, what's the thing I'm walking away from this course with?
And also, how different is the course online than the one in the actual university?
You can answer the first and I'll take the second.
Yeah, what they walk away with is, one, a stronger knowledge of religion and hip hop and their intersections, but they also walk away with some tools that allow them to raise questions and interrogate their own life circumstances. We have, again, students online who are coming from 108 countries, so we're giving them a way to think about realities that affect them within their own context.
And the difference right now, basically, between the residential course that exists at Rice University as opposed to the online course that we are offering free, is basically just the amount of information that we're giving over, right? So if you're making the journey to class every day, if you're paying the tuition, right, you're going to class 2 times a week, and you're doing the work, right, then that constitutes a much stronger effort to have this conversation as opposed to online where it's free and you can take it at your leisure, right? So we make sure that the classroom gets a lot more education than the online version would, because there's just simply no way to translate all of that into online. We teach twice a week for 15 weeks. That's a lot to try to do online. So we try to give a basic gist of what the course encompasses and try to get as deep as possible as we can within a 20-minute window, which is what we're basically dealing with the online class. So
but you do an actual class online.
Yeah.
It's not reading the way you would do a course online to pass.
No. This is
it's a full course.
It's called a MOOC. It's a
massive open online course.
And it's what it is basically Doc and I presenting lessons. It's a 6 weeks course, 6 sessions. We're presenting the lessons. We're introducing the lessons. We're actually bonus information. And the thing that Doc and I wanted to do was, because of the fact that the residential course takes place in Rice University on campus, we made a concerted effort to take this course out of the classroom, as we've done with the actual course at Rice. And so everything that we do online is basically in an area where the conversation would actually live and breathe. So when we discuss hip hop and Islam, we're actually discussing it in a mosque. Right, so when we're discussing hip hop and Christianity, we're discussing it in a church, right? So we go to a club, we go to a lounge, we go to a studio, different places where these conversations will actually and practically live and breathe in real time.
Wow.
How do I sign up? I want to sign up. Do I go to Rice University
No,
website?
it's real easy.
What do I do?
A couple of clicks. You go to www.edx.org and you search for religion and hip hop culture. A couple of clicks and you're in the class for free.
edx.org.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much. It's amazing.
Great talk. There's so many places I would love to take this conversation into the black church.
You know where you can take this
ability.
conversation? Go online, take this course,
and
then just take this conversation there. Just have that conversation there, because what we do, during the course of this course, we're going to be actually interacting with the students.
Right.
We're going to when these topics go live and they go online, like Doc and I will be on Twitter having a back and forth conversation about this type of thing. Some of the students will be able to jump in this conversation, and old man, we'd love it if you jump in.
Give me my respect.
But
you saw
he shows respect.
Professor gave me my respect.
Professor, because he's the professor and you're the old man.
But can I tell you what would be cool though, if like all you guys took it and saw who got the best grade?
I like that, because I'm going to stomp y'all out. Well, this is my shit.
Well, I know who gets the worst grade. Queen ADD over there.
She can't pay attention. Yo, thanks a lot, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys
so
for
much.
having us, man, for real.